We want to let them know that we're not criminals, we're workers. We support our country.
Workers plan to walk off the job to prove a point to the president. That's what thousands of immigrants throughout the country will do today. They are calling it a day without immigrants.
And that does include some groups right here in North Carolina. Compare food stores in Winston-Salem and in Greensboro. They do plan to close for today. Fox 8's Nick Sturdivant brings us a closer look.
Hey, good morning, Carrie and Melissa. And one thing that we noticed when we first got here to Compare Foods in Greensboro is this sign that hangs right here on one of the side doors. It says, "A day without immigrants closed tomorrow," which was hung yesterday on the door in support of the immigrants. And not only the location here in Greensboro and Winston, but also a string of locations in Charlotte plan to close today. And this has really been sort of a grassroots effort. And the goal is to prove how important immigrants are to this country. Immigrants nationwide boycotting jobs, schools, and other businesses. This is all in response to President Trump's crackdown on immigration in recent weeks. Protests not only happening today, but really heating up on both sides of the issue this week.
If you stand for something, whatever your ideology is, you got to stand up for it. It's like dropping a bomb in the middle of the city and expecting to take out one bad guy. But what happens to the rest of the bystanders that went around it, you know?
No denying this generation-long surge in low-skilled immigration has hurt blue-collar wages. And unless we reverse this trend, we're going to create a near-permanent underclass.
And not sure how many people are planned to participate in the protest here locally today, and even statewide, how many people will plan to protest. But again, that sign, the store Compare Foods closed today. Also a sign apologizing for the inconvenience for anybody. But again, clearly in support of the protest, a day without immigrants today here in Greensboro. Back to you guys.
Nick, you mentioned statewide. We should tell you this, that aside from people in the Triad, folks in Raleigh, they are also gathering. We want to show you some video from there where about 20 businesses at the International Food Shopping Center are displaying signs and vowing to close their doors. They are also encouraging others not to go to work, open their businesses, or buy anything. This way they can show their support.
Send a message to all politicians that our economy is big here in North Carolina and the whole nation.
If we don't show up for work, if our kids don't go to school, hopefully they'll see that we're needed in this country.
Organizers also plan a formal demonstration in downtown Raleigh set to start at 10:30 this morning. Meantime, our Brad Jones joins us now with more on the immigration discussion that's taking place throughout the country.
Carrie, good morning. Today's protest comes as concerns grow over immigration and customs enforcement raids. Just last week, officers arrested nearly 700 people in those raids. It's been more than 2 weeks since President Trump signed an executive order expanding the authority of immigration officers, and now undocumented immigrants who were largely left alone or even protected under the Obama administration say they live in fear of being detained or deported.
We bought a house, stuff like that. Now we're in the question of what's going to happen to all our future, plans that we had.
In Seattle, an undocumented immigrant arrested by federal officers last week is fighting for his release. His lawyer says he's protected as a so-called dreamer.
He has no criminal record. There are no criminal charges pending against him. He has no criminal convictions.
Legal experts believe this is the first arrest of an immigrant who qualified for DACA, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. In Colorado yesterday, Jeanette Vizquera, who came from Mexico 20 years ago and checked in regularly with ICE agents, had her stay of removal denied. She's seeking refuge in a local church. In a statement, ICE said her 2 misdemeanor convictions make her a priority for agents.
Right now, it's not just about me. We know that the Trump administration is attacking us not just as immigrants, but as women.
Her background and situation are similar to a mother from Arizona who was detained and deported following a routine ICE check-in last week. The previous administration prioritized the deportation of undocumented immigrants who threaten public safety or national security. But Trump's order goes beyond that, with a very broad definition of criminal. Protests have popped up all over the country, with people demanding justice and transparency. As we mentioned, there is a big difference between the arrests under the Obama administration and those under the Trump administration. Under President Obama, ICE agents generally arrested wanted immigration fugitives and convicted criminals. Raids last week targeted immigrants whose only offense was an immigration violation. And the indication we're getting is that there was some sort of directive handed down, but Immigration and Customs Enforcement has not
specified exactly what's in it. So some agent's saying, well, there has been a change, but nobody's exactly giving you the letter of the law or whatever change was made.
It's so interesting to see how things will play out. We were just talking about, I think it's called the International Superfoods Market on West Market in Greensboro. We saw the situation in Raleigh. It'll be interesting to see if that's a place where a number of communities come together, a number of businesses, to see if they also participate in the protest.
And this is again, national issue, local level, where you're seeing people in communities all over the state who are facing that very same issue.
All right, Brad, thanks so much.